So hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of switching around with my indoor hydroponics. Right here behind me I have a DWD system. This is an iDo system that I've been using for 3 or 4 years. It's been working great. And I thought I would use it to get some herbs and a pepper plant going. But I'm decided I'm going to do things a little different. I'm going to take the pepper plant out of here, set it up in a kratky system, put it in my grow tent because it's really not doing much here. I'm going to just pull it out and show it to you. This has been growing in the system for about a month and I still have no roots coming yet. You know, it's spitting out leaves and everything, but it just doesn't seem to be growing and thriving like it should. So I'm going to move it into a kratky system. That's going to free up some space here. I got some basil that's doing really good here and some thyme. So I think just to make use of some of these spots here, we'll plant up some lettuces, maybe some arugula. I'll go through my seeds and see what I got. And, you know, herbs and lettuces do really well in these little DWC systems. So keep watching and let's see if we can move this into a new container and hopefully it will thrive inside my grow tent. Okay, so as I mentioned, I am going to be setting up this pepper in what I call a kratky setup. So basically, I'm going to be just using a container, fill it with nutrients, get the pepper set up in a net cup, put it into here and set it in my grow tent. So I've already mixed up my nutrients here. I'm using a 3-part blend of micro grow and bloom and also mixed in a little bit of CalMags, which is always what I usually do in my blend. And I just follow the instructions on the back of your nutrients, whether it's a 2-part or a 3-part. And I mixed up a blend that is for the early vegetative stage. So if you've seen my pepper here, I would say it's kind of in that early vegetative stage. There's no sign of blooming yet. So basically we want it to focus on root growth and getting some more leaves going. And as you can see, I'm not seeing any roots popping through this little pod yet. So I'm going to try and remove it and get it set up in the net cup. And what I'm going to use to stabilize it in here is some more of these hydrogen clay balls. So first of all, I'm just going to add my nutrient blend into the container. And I want to make sure that when I set the net cup inside that the bottom of it is going to touch the nutrients, but we don't want to fully immerse it. We don't want to drown those little tiny roots that are hopefully in here somewhere. So I'm going to just start off by pouring it in here. I always like to use these 4-liter or 1-gallon size containers like this to mix it up because that's usually how the measurements are set out on the back of your nutrients. You usually have a recipe that uses 4 liters of water. So this is good to mix up in and then just add it to whatever type of container you're using. So this is probably going to use up most of my nutrients here. Okay. So I like to use these Folgers containers. They make great vessels for the kratky method. It's easy to cut a hole in the lid to fit your net cup. This is a 3-inch net cup here. So I'm just going to see if we can get this out. So I had a few clay balls on the top. And just going to remove it here. So I'm not sure if it's just having trouble breaking through this little pod here. If I just can't seem to break through with the roots or what's going on, but I'm hoping if we put it in here, give it a little more nutrient water inside the grow tent, it's a little warmer, a little more, maybe better lighting for it. I got a fan going in there, so it's got some airflow and some humidity as well. With my thyme, you can see obviously the roots are popping through all along the edges, out the bottom. It's drinking up the nutrients, it's growing, it's flourishing. That doesn't seem to be the case with this pepper. So I'm going to try to just actually rip open and see what's going on here. Maybe it just needs a little bit of air. I'm going to rip it open and show you so you can see. Here there is little tiny roots. I'll try to zoom in and hold so it focuses. But they just don't seem to be breaking through like they should. So I'm just going to rip it open just to kind of give it a little bit of more space, and maybe those roots will get their way through. This is these kind of knockoff brand Arrow Garden pods that you can just order off Amazon. I got a whole box of them. And you know, sometimes I just find that the roots can't push through them for whatever reason. So I think by just ripping this open, kind of giving it some space to grow, this is going to help. So we will see. So again, I'm putting it back in here, setting it down in the middle, holding it. These clay balls will help hold it stable. The roots will grow through the clay balls really easily. And they also, you know, help block out that light so you don't get algae in your water. So we got it set up kind of centered good here now. I just want to check, I guess, too, to make sure I am reaching the nutrient water at the bottom. It's not quite there, so I'm just going to add some more to the container. It's important with that kratky method that you do not submerge your whole, you know, root system into the water, otherwise your plant will drown. It needs the air in addition to the water and the nutrients to survive. So I'm just setting it in here again. And I can see that it is now touching the nutrient water, and I know that this little pod here is going to be able to absorb that water, and hopefully the roots will be able to take off now that they have a little more room to grow and move. So that's a simple setup right there. That's my peppers. This is a sweet pepper plant. It's going to go into my grow tent. I'll show you where I'm going to place it shortly, and hopefully we will see some growth happening here in the next week or two. So hey guys, if you're thinking that you would like to learn more about how you can grow food all year round, no matter where you live. I live in a very cold climate here in Saskatchewan, Canada. It's the middle of winter, and you know, I'm growing sprouts, I've got herbs growing, I've got tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers growing in my grow tent. So you can be growing food all year round. And if you want some help on getting started or learning how you can perhaps be growing food year round, I have a few free gardening guides that I'd love to share with you. You can just click on the link in the description box below to get those free downloads. And if you want to be part of a great community of gardeners from all over the world who are sharing experiences, talking about gardening, learning, and we're just having a lot of fun in this interactive community, then please join us in our community, Gardeners Growing Together. Link is also in the description box below. Setting up some arugula here, adding it to this DWD system, and just to kind of help make sure those roots can break through, I'm just going to take this knife and just kind of make some slits down the side just to kind of open up these sponges a little bit, just so that roots can find their way through them, get to the air, get to the nutrients, and we'll just see if that helps. You can see on here that this one is doing okay. This is a thyme herb and its roots are coming through okay. I also got a basil here. It's got lots of healthy air roots up here at the top and a good root system in the nutrient water. But my pepper plant that I had in here was struggling and the roots weren't breaking through. So this is just something I'm just going to try just to ensure that those roots don't have to work too hard to get out to the air and the nutrients. These sponges get tossed after You use them anyway, so it's not like I'm going to be reusing them. I've been soaking these in water just so they have lots of moisture in there. And I am going to just set up 3 arugula plants here. Arugula's good because it doesn't get very big, doesn't spread too much, so you can get a few of those going in a small space. And I'm just going to drop a couple seeds into each hole. I usually let a couple of them germinate, and if there's more than 2, I will thin them out. So that's pretty much all there is to getting them started. You're going to put little domes on there to kind of hold in the humidity. And if they look like they're drying out, but they should be able to absorb the moisture because they are hitting the nutrient water here. They should be able to stay moist, and hopefully we will see germination of this arugula in about a week to 14 days. Okay, so I've just made some room in my grow tent here. I got 3 tomato plants. I got a cucumber growing over here that is just starting to flower and bloom. So I'm going to just put the pepper in where I can see it's going to get some good light. It's going to get a little bit of airflow from the fan. I got humidity here that I just add a little bit of water in the middle of the tent. And I think this pepper is going to be able to really flourish in here. We will do an update in the coming weeks just to see if setting it up in this new system here, cutting into that sponge to give it some more space for the roots to grow, bringing it into the grow tent, and see if that helps this pepper take off. So stay tuned. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next video.